Hello everybody, welcome back to your video. My name is Mr. G, your meteorologist. Welcome to Elite Weather. I am back from my Alaska holiday or vacation with my wife for our anniversary and the 4th of July. We just got back midnight last night. I'm still a little tired. Voice is a little choppy and messy from the cold air in Alaska and being around thousands of people on a cruise ship. I'm pretty sure I didn't catch COVID, but I hope I didn't. But I got a little bit of a scratchy throat, so forgive me if I'm a little coughy through the video, but I want to share something from the trip. This is a part of the trip that I like. As a scientist, the scientific aspects of a trip like this is what I most care about. My wife is into the visiting the towns and the people and the shopping and all this stuff. I care about the science. I only care about the glaciers and the scientific. Yeah, at least that's the most what I care about. It's the scientific things. And as we were traveling up the Endicott Arm, we didn't get quite get to the Dawes Glacier because the pilot was kind of a punk and thought it was a little bit too much ice in the opening there into the inlet. But we got to the outside and we did see hanging glacier on the way. This is just a couple of pictures that I've taken on our trip on our cruise. This is the opening into the Dawes Glacier. You can see it kind of in the background right there. You might be able to see the top of the glacier back in. You got to go in and go around some of those curves in between those mountains here. But look at all the ice here. This is why our captain didn't want to quite go into all of that. So you can see I'm going to step off the camera so you guys can get a full picture of the video of the picture there. But there it is. That is the entrance to the Dawes Glacier. And that entire area is called the Endicott Arm. And this is the hanging glacier. This is kind of an added bonus in my opinion because this wasn't mentioned in any of the itinerary that we would see other glaciers besides Dawes Glacier, but this is a hanging glacier, and this glacier is about 4 or 5 miles long, and it sits at about an elevation of 2,600 feet above the water, and it's called a hanging glacier because it's in a fjord that's at a higher elevation. But the glacier doesn't come all the way down to the bottom, to the water. It just kind of cuts off halfway. So you see it looks like it's kind of hanging off the side of a cliff. And part of it is because it is sheer cliffs. So much of the glacier has broken away over the years and over time. And that is the part that's able to kind of hang on to the side of the rock face there. So you are seeing the hanging glacier. And this is north of Juneau, Alaska. There's another depiction of the glacier. I thought it was absolutely beautiful. God, I really want to get here and study these in a professional capacity as a scientist, but just looking at that is pretty freaking amazing. So that is the hanging glacier. And this glacier is near the Art Lewis Glacier, Butler Glacier, Cascading Glacier, which is one I want to see, the East Nunatak, which is the Nunatak Mountains. That's a Native American community there. That's the Nunatak Mountains and the Nunatak people, and that's their lands where these glaciers are. And I really want to see that in Dawes Glacier. And there's also there's a lot of glaciers in this area. It's really pretty amazing to see how beautiful. I have hundreds of pictures, probably almost a 1,000 pictures, and I will share pieces of the trip through upcoming videos. I will post some of the pictures that I've taken, and you can also go on my Facebook page where I'll post a lot of the pictures and photographs that my wife and I've probably taken over 500 or 600 photos myself of this fantastic trip to Alaska. Yay, it's beautiful. We're going to go again next year because we kind of consider this a practice run. And we were supposed to go to Disney World, but we decided 2 weeks ago or 2 weeks before, I think we're going to go to Alaska instead. So it was kind of a last minute, so we were kind of feeling our way through it. But now that we know what to expect, We're going to plan another one, maybe take some more family with us, mom and sister maybe, and we'll plan it out a little bit better, get a better room with a balcony, do some, let some of the cruise line do some of their activities that they plan, their trips or whatever. So we're going to try that next year. But let's get on with our weather forecast. And I have to say that the weather was beautiful. It was 80 degrees a couple of times in Ketchikan, Alaska. And we saw places where it was 70s. Beautiful weather in Alaska, in the Pacific Northwest. When we left Seattle, it was 80 degrees. So it was beautiful. It was a little bit cooler when we got back yesterday. But when we left, the weather was phenomenal. Beautiful weather. All the way up the West Coast through British Columbia into Alaska, everywhere. Beautiful, clear skies. Oh, wow. It was amazing. I can't stress how beautiful that was. But let's talk about that weather forecast. And some of you folks are not really quite having that beautiful of weather as beautiful as my trip was. So we're going to talk about thunderstorms again across the Midwest. So if you're in the Central Plains, into the northern plains, so parts of Minnesota down through Nebraska, Kansas, and South Dakota, we're going to be looking at some severe thunderstorms potentially tomorrow, and we're going to look at heavy rain in the northeast that could lead up to flash flooding through parts of the Adirondack mountain range, as well as the mountains into Vermont, New Hampshire, and into Maine, the interior of Maine, where we can see as much as 4 inches of rain. We'll talk more about that later in the video, but this first part is going to be mainly for TikTok. It's going to be a split video where the first few minutes will be for TikTok, and then the rest of the video will be for YouTube as well. But here we are as we're looking at severe weather tomorrow across the Central Plains. So if you are in, let's say, places like Omaha, you can deal with that severe weather. Independence, Lawrence, definitely the potential is there for severe weather. But up here in the Northeast, very heavy rain and flash flooding. And we're going to be seeing thunderstorms across the Southeast and into the state of Florida. We're keeping an eye on the tropics on both the Pacific and the Atlantic, as we have the potential for some development out there, but we will be dealing with showers and some thunderstorms and severe weather later during this upcoming week with that southeasterly front. And we have beautiful weather on the West Coast. It's going to just start and get really hot out there across the desert Southwest. We're going to see those temperatures in the triple digits, but it's going to be beautiful for the state of California, especially along the coast. So San Diego, LA to San Francisco, going to have really nice weather. Nice weather for the Pacific Northwestern cities. So Seattle and Portland, nice weather for you guys again tomorrow. Some thunderstorms across the northern Cascades and the northern Rockies. And we're going to see those thunderstorms along the U.S. and Canadian border all the way over into the Great Lakes and through Wisconsin and Minnesota, and some showers and thunderstorms. Now, this is going to be isolated to scattered. No severe weather in those regions that are expected. An isolated severe storm is always possible, but not expected at this time. And then for your Tuesday, we're really starting to see that severe weather intensify, that potential there across the Midwest, there across the high plains, through parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, parts of Iowa, southwestern Minnesota. We're going to be seeing that heavy rain lead to potential flash flooding, and some tornadoes is going to be possible as well. Some large hail, damaging winds. We might even see the potential for a derecho across the upper Midwest as well through parts of Iowa and Nebraska as we work through the day on Tuesday. Showers and storms across the Northeast and New England will continue, and we will see those showers and storms throughout much of the Midwest for your day on Tuesday. So Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota, Iowa, Illinois, parts of Indiana, Missouri, Arkansas, Oklahoma, northern Texas, Kansas as well. Could see some scattered showers and thunderstorms. Other than that, it's going to be very nice and fairly hot out there once again, but you will have that chance for a shower or storm in the afternoon. And then on the West Coast, beautiful weather on the West Coast, but it's going to start to warm up again across the Southwest as we start to see monsoon moisture moving into the desert Southwest as well. So afternoon and evening thunderstorms will be possible for Phoenix, Tucson, as well as Albuquerque, New Mexico. Now, here is a look at our current radar situation across the country for your Sunday evening. It's probably about 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. A late video because Mr. G slept most of the day because we was tired. Oh, man. We was tired. We spent the whole day in the airport in Seattle. Seattle has a sucky airport, you guys. Don't ever get stuck in Seattle. It sucks. The airport. The TSA, God bless them, but they were rude. They were rude as hell. But anyway, here is that severe weather. We're looking at thunderstorms along the Gulf Coast right now and into the state of Florida. We also are looking at thunderstorms across the Mid-South, the Mid-Mississippi River Valley, the Tennessee Valley. We're seeing some showers and thunderstorms, and through the Mid-Atlantic states and up into the northeast of New England right now. We're seeing showers and thunderstorms. But if you look out to the west, everything's nice and quiet and beautiful for you folks. There might be a random thunderstorm here and there across parts of the Rockies, but right now, the western half of the U.S. is beautiful, but the east and the southeast and the northeast, a little bit more spotty there with those showers and thunderstorms for this evening that you're seeing. And here we are as we take a look at that radar again, those showers and thunderstorms across the south, in the southeast, and in the northeast. Okay, here's our current temperatures across America. God dang, this is really hot down here across Texas. These are actual temperatures where we're seeing a triple digit. This is San Angelo, Texas. You know it's always hot in San Angelo. There's something about San Angelo right there along the Rio Grande River Valley. It's 100 degrees, 98 for you in San Antonio, 95 in Houston, 90 in Dallas and Fort Worth. And we're seeing those temperatures all the way into the upper 80s to near 90 across the Midwest and the high plains. So it's warm across the Midwest. Look at that 91 up there in Montana. That is, I believe that's Selby, Montana, or Cutbank, where it's 91 degrees right now. And look at the heat across the desert Southwest. We've got some clouds and some thunderstorms, so it's not as high in Phoenix. You're seeing 81 right now because of clouds and thunderstorms in the area, but it's 104 in Las Vegas because it's sunny and that nothing is obscuring that heat coming from that sun. So that is our hot summertime temperatures across America. Here is those dew points. High dew points across the south. Boy, we got dew points near 80 along the Gulf Coast. So there is the first cough. New Orleans is dew points in the mid-70s, 77 down here across South Texas, and those mid-70s. This is why we keep an eye on the tropics, because there's a lot of moisture in the air, and we got to watch for tropical development, and we're seeing that potential there for a lot of thunderstorms. So we see those dew points in the 70s and those dew points in the 60s across the Northeast. We are looking at those dew points in the 50s across the upper Midwest and the Great Lakes. It's warm, but it's rather comfortable. Dew points in the lower 50s, the mid 50s aren't too bad. So we're doing really well with dew points out there. And we're looking at dew points in the low 30s down here across the desert Southwest. That's below monsoon level. So they have not declared that the monsoon has started because they have not had 3 consecutive days of a dew point above 55 degrees. But that dew points are 37 down here in Phoenix and in Tucson, and we're seeing those drier dew points across the West Coast, which means that it's going to be rather comfortable out there. Okay, here's our heat index. This is what the air feels like. If you look at Texas, it feels like 106 degrees down here in San Antonio, 109 in Houston. That is the feels like temperature. That is what the humidity and the heat combined is making the air feels like. So across Texas and the desert Southwest, that heat is pretty oppressive right now. You can see it. This is very dangerous heat indexes. So get hydrated, stay cool, Find a pool, drink a lot of lemonade and water. Keep yourself cool. Remember to take a look in on all your older neighbors, people who might be living alone. Make sure they're all right and they're cool, and that everybody's got a way to keep cool out there. Okay. All right. Here is our evening forecast across America, and we're going to be seeing those showers and storms across the Northeast and into New England, and we got showers and storms. That we have this trough and this cold front that's going to be bringing thunderstorms down along the Gulf Coast and through the Mid-South and parts of the lower sections of the mountains out there, of the Smoky Mountains and the what's the name of this mountain range? So we got the Appalachian Mountain Ranges. So we're going to be seeing showers and storms across the southern tip there, and showers and storms down there for you folks in Florida. But beautiful weather across the western United States, the upper Midwest, the Rockies, and the West Coast. Beautiful evening tonight. And then tomorrow we are going to, let's go back. All right, so tomorrow morning, as you go to work, I'm going to take an extra day off because Mr. G got a lot of homework to catch up on. I got an exam to do because I was out over water, wasn't able to get Wi-Fi or internet signal out there. So I'm spent today, this evening, and tomorrow catch up with my homework, get ready for the end of the summer semester. And here is those showers and storms we will see continue across the southeast tomorrow, and those showers and storms will extend into the northeast and I-95 corridors, or the big cities, D.C., New York, Philly, Boston. You guys are going to be seeing those showers and storms tomorrow. Again, that heavy rain could lead to flooding through parts of the northern, the New England states here. So Vermont, New Hampshire, upstate New York, parts of Maine might see heavy enough rain. We can see up to 4 inches of rainfall in localized situations that could lead to some flooding. Okay? All right. So let's talk about that flooding rain in the Northeast. And I don't know what we got going on here. I got my little elite weather. Hey, check those out. So anyway, we have that area of low pressure over the Northeast and the Mid-Atlantic states. And that low pressure is going to be pumping in a lot of moisture off of the Atlantic and off of the Gulf Stream. So the focus for a lot of rainfall and some thunderstorms are going to be possible as we move through the day on Tuesday, as this is going to be a very slow evolving system and a slow to exit system. So in the meantime, we're going to see lots of rainfall through the Northeast. And here is a look at what we can see through the morning hours tomorrow across the Northeast, where we can pick up at least 3 inches of rainfall, likely through parts of the Northeast and into New England. So Albany, New York City, Philadelphia, Washington, you guys can pick up at least 3 inches of rainfall as we head through the morning tomorrow. And then we're going to be looking at the outlook for Monday. The flooding is going to be likely right here through parts of Vermont and New Hampshire. So you will see the likelihood of extreme possibility of flooding, but you will see the likelihood of flooding through parts of upstate New York and through Connecticut, western Massachusetts, and New Hampshire. You can see the potential there for the likelihood for flooding. So a lot of rainfall across the Northeast. Remember, just a few weeks ago, they had the dryness and the smoke. Now, a lot of rainfall and flooding. So we flip-flopped everything, and we will see that heavy rain continue as we have current flood watch in effect for the entire Northeast and all of the big cities from Boston all the way down to New Bern and Virginia Beach. We have that potential for flooding, and we have a flood watch in place for these areas. And as we talk about additional rainfall that we're going to see through Monday, we will see that potential there for up to 3 inches of rainfall through parts of Vermont and New Hampshire as we go into Monday, through Monday. Through Tuesday, we have that potential locally for 4 inches of rain up through Vermont again and New Hampshire. That rain is going to continue through Tuesday. All right, further down to the south, we have that same cold front, and with a double barrel areas of low pressure, it's going to provide scattered showers and thunderstorms through Monday morning. So we're going to continue to see that scattered rainfall for cities like Atlanta, Montgomery, Jackson, and Alexandria, New Orleans, Mobile. You guys are going to continue to see that rainfall. Raleigh, Durham, Wilmington, Charlotte, and Charleston, South Carolina, too, will see that potential for continued rainfall through tomorrow morning and through Monday a.m. You're going to see as much as 2 inches of rain possible across the deep south here, and 2 to 3 inches of rain possible here through the northeast and into New England. So we got 2 big areas of some pretty substantial rainfall that's taking place. And we're going to see thunderstorms throughout the Midwest on Monday. So tomorrow, severe weather is possible from Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, northern Texas. We can see the potential for some severe weather as far north as Wisconsin and into Minnesota. So you have an outside marginal shot for some severe thunderstorms in our primary threat. Damaging winds, heavy rain, and some large hail. The tornado threat, I think, is going to be fairly low with this activity, but some damaging winds and hail is going to certainly be possible with this round of severe weather. And here's our rainfall amounts across the southeast through the day on Tuesday, where we can pick up a good area of 1 to 2 inches across parts of the deep south. There is a lot of rainfall to be had with this latest storm system, as it's going to be slow to progress and move through the area. A lot of training of showers and storms. A lot of this stuff is nearly stationary, so we're going to see a lot of repeated rounds of showers and thunderstorms from the Midwest all the way down to the south, the southeast, and up to the east coast. And then across the southwest, you're going to have that heat is going to be rather persistent. We're going to see a southwesterly flow, so it's going to be fairly dry across Arizona and into the Rockies there, Utah, and then through Colorado and New Mexico. So it's going to be hot. Temperatures will be comfortable, but as far as the humidity, but it will be rather hot across the desert southwest and across the southern Rockies. So this is what we're going to be looking at as far as the early part of the week across the country. Dangerous heat across the west and the southwest. It's going to be pleasant in the northwest, hot across the northern parts of Nevada. Showers and storms across the Midwest and the south and the southeast and up to the northeast. Excuse me. Showers and thunderstorms will be likely on your early part of the week. But look how nice and pleasant it's going to be across parts of the Ohio Valley. So very nice, and some hot heat a little bit as well. Warm to hot conditions through the Ohio Valley, but it's going to be hot and humid down here across the southern part of the U.S., the southern plains, as well as through the mid-Mississippi River Valley, the Ozarks, and through the Gulf Coast. We're going to see that heat and humidity and scattered thunderstorms. All right. More about the hot weather across the southwest. We're going to see those triple digits down there in Phoenix, Tucson, Las Vegas, Albuquerque, 100 plus degrees. So get ready for it. Again, it's going to still, the heat is going to continue through Tuesday and through the end of the month. So through late July, we're going to see this pattern. The heat is going to hold on across the southwest, but what that's going to do is make the jet stream move to the north. So we're going to see those storms coming to the Pacific Northwest, the northern Rockies, and then drop down across the central and the northern and central plains. So we're going to see the increase in moisture across the Great Lakes, places like Minnesota, Wisconsin, North and South Dakota, Montana, Wyoming, Idaho, Washington, and Oregon. And then we're going to also see thunderstorms down across parts of eastern Colorado, Kansas, Nebraska, Oklahoma, northern Texas, and through the southeast as our jet stream will go around the top of our ridge and dive to the southeast on the backside of that ridge of high pressure. So that is your weather forecast as Mr. G kind of stumbled through it because my throat is all dry and scratchy, trying to keep from having a coughing fit. But I'm going to let loose as soon as I stop this video. So thanks for watching me as we finally are back, guys. And we're almost done with the semester a couple of weeks ago. And then we can really get back to daily videos for you guys for at least until my fall semester start. So, alright, thanks for checking me out today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the pictures of Alaska. I'll have plenty of more to share with y'all. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Bye-bye.